வணக்கம். இன்னைக்கு கான்வர்சேஷன் சீரீஸில் என் கூட டாக்டர் Surya Narayan பேச போகிறாரு. வெரி இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங் பர்சனாலிட்டி, அமேசிங் சர்ஜன், அதுக்கு மேலே ஒரு நல்ல மனிதர். நிறைய விஷயங்கள் கற்றுக்கலாம் அவர் வாழ்க்கையில். எங்கள் துறையிலையாக இருக்கட்டும், ஆர்த்தோபெடிக்ஸ்லையாக இருக்கட்டும். அது மட்டும் இல்லாமல் ஒரு மனிதராகவே 63 வயசு இன்னைக்கு அவர் கடந்து வந்த பாதை ரொம்ப ஒரு இன்ஸ்பைரிங் பாதை. அண்ட் ஹி ஹிம்செல்ஃப் லங் டிரான்ஸ்பிளான்ட் பண்ணிவிட்டு இன்றைக்கும் அவர் சின்ன வயசில் எப்படி ஆப்ரேட் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தாரோ அதே விகரோட இஸ் பேக் ஆன் ட்ராக் அண்ட் ஆப்ரேட்டிங். Lots to learn from him and பேசலாம், நிறைய கற்றுக்கலாம். Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Vijay.
Thank you so much for coming, sir. And
my pleasure.
I mean, I would want to tell this in front of the camera. You're one of the best in our fields, and you're the most humble, one of the most humble human beings I've come across. எப்படி பேலன்ஸ் பண்ணுறீங்க சார்? How do you balance that?
Thanks for the very nice words. I don't know whether I do deserve it at all, completely. But I think they are traits, actually. I mean, success need not drown you. At the same time, I think success is a sort of a professional type of an achievement. And like I said, people may brand you as accomplished, but you know, the science changes every other day. And it is so important for us also to keep updated about what is happening. But at the end of the day, you and me are human beings. I mean, our basic requirements, our basic characters don't change. Because you are a doctor or because you are a Mr. Ambani, you are still the human man. Your needs are the same. So once we keep that at the backdrop and then we keep that focused, then you know that you have to come down to earth. Greatest realization basically is that you can have everything, you can amass everything, you can desire everything, but there is one day when you have got to let go of everything. So I mean, basically, I think it all also comes from where you started in life, your own background, your household, your parents. So that humility, minimalistic living, it comes from a parental sort of a contribution. I still can very honestly say when I was small, you hated everything what happened there. Because namakella idu venum, adu venum, but then nothing was possible. And you were cursing your parents. But by 35, you were appreciating whatever he did for you, because then you started analyzing why he was like that, why your mother told you what to do and whatever she did, what she did. So I think it's a constant, so as I look at it, constant change, learning, and you have to keep modifying as the road goes down.
The road goes down. Yeah. And you've been into medical practice for the last 37 years.
Yeah.
For example, for you, I'm going to ask you about you underwent a lung transplant.
Yeah, that's right. Well, the reason was something closer. It's called the idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis. It's been affecting me for a while, from 2009 and 10, almost about for 4, 5, 6 years. But gradually found that your capacity was coming down. So this is basically a disease where the lung exchange of oxygen doesn't happen. So because of that, your reserves are much less and you tend to get tired very easily. The moment of this, then your breathing slowly starts becoming difficult. So this was something, of course, I was with good pulmonologists here in the city who were really helping me out, also with the medical treatment, everything. But then a time came when, though it is customarily known to be slow in progress, this one suddenly rapidly evolved and developed, and I realized in one of my travels when I was somewhere in South America, and then it was just I couldn't climb. I just couldn't climb.
So I would like to take back that word, not lung cancer as such.
Yeah.
It
was idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis,
and you underwent a lung transplant.
Yeah. So when I was up there, it was not a holiday; it was a misery. So I just came back, and then subsequently, because of all this, I had to undergo it. The option seemed very bright, though of course there was a lot of skepticism. One thing I realized at that time basically was that decision making to do or not to do, and second is you are sometimes a thought comes. I mean, maybe this there, nearing the end, but then whatever will be. So that was the only attitude I just followed. I mean, try, see how it works. Always it hits you not for yourself, but for your near and dear, close by loved ones,
Right.
the wife, the child, my closest. You only wonder what would be going through them, the agony. But in terms of to do or not to do, I also realized, I never read about it, that I thought was the best approach, because then you get more fear into it or more
Go anxious
doubts
about it.
into yourself. So I didn't go on to the Google to. So I always tell all my patient colleagues also, avoid too much of Googling. Googling is too much information. It's not. I'm not never saying it's wrong. It's too much information. Wikipedia or Google or something. So the only two people who made the decision was me and my wife. I looked at her. She looked at me. Both said, "Let's go ahead," and we didn't discuss more. And then it happened. Fortunately, it all happened well, and.
Glad to hear that. Everything
It
went
is
well.
tremendous. So I think a positive attitude, take it as it comes. In fact, I mean, if I may share, I'm not sure of this.
Please, sir, feel free.
When I checked into the hospital emergency, I was told that probably I need a liver also, because of the consequences of the treatment, the oxygen deficiency. All the other organs also start folding up. The liver function slow aichi. Your kidneys were still sort of maintaining, but the heart, right side of the heart started failing because the circulation. So when I went into the room from the first assessment, they said you may need both the liver and the lung transplant. But then I was on high pressure, whatever treatment they gave just to take out or minimize the oxygen requirement, suddenly liver functions became normal and everything. And the liver was out and I needed only a lung. So one only morals of the story is there's nothing like oxygen.
There's nothing like oxygen.
Yes, and that is, I think, the wonder drug, nothing else. It can do wonders to your whole body systems. And that precisely you realize, So whenever now, quite sometimes it's been a fascination for all the yogic breathing techniques, breath holding, pranayams, high altitude climbing. These are, I think, some of the things we all should probably invest in.
Wow, beautifully said. We all should.
We should also, because one, it's a pleasurable thing to do. It has its own positive benefits. And like I said, so long as you're well oxygenated, you're bright and spriteful.
Right.
So I think, so you learn. But actually, attitudinal wise and my think wise, yes, sometimes you would think. And after the surgery, again, it is always the unsurety of how long.
Right.
It's still an open question for us. So if you look at the data and the published literature, everything, it says 50%, 5 years. So you can keep counting, but then, so enough amount of people you meet across in the closed group discussions. There are so many who are out there 10, 12, 8, 14, 18 years and all out. So if you keep on thinking and counting every day, am I going to be next year? I think there's no end to it. You lose out on other things.
Exactly.
Keep doing what you love to do, or you enjoy doing it. Take it like there is no tomorrow.
Yeah. Take life one day at a time.
One day at a time, like there is no tomorrow.
There is no tomorrow.
So do it, whatever permits. Of course, you should not be foolhardy also. And the physicians feel that these certain things are a taboo. Don't do it. Don't do it. There's so many more things we can do. Yeah. So actually, I enjoy every day now. You do it, do your work again. I don't overstress on my work. It is no mission of mine to prove or achieve something or anything. I do as much as I can, do the other things, be with the family close by for more time, try to see what activity. Unfortunately, COVID has taken away 2 years because of this. It's okay. That's part of the story. Even in your own medical practice, that's what we now realize, that as an individual, you achieved not so much.
Exactly.
In today's world, I think the demands and the needs and the requirements, both in terms of material, manpower, and also in what I would say supports, is so high, so high. So as a group, you are able to do it much better.
Do much better and much more.
That's the reason why we started what we have right now at this hospital. It's really a bunch of surgeons, diverse things, but we are able to come in together. Because everybody is an orthopedic surgeon, so basic foundation is the same for all of us. But each of us, God gives all of us one skill set, maybe 2 skill sets. You are not a master of all.
Wow.
You are a master of one. So, like for example, if I do my joints, well, your peers know you only for that small thing. It's very small, minuscule, and like a researcher, it's phenomenal. So I think in that being together amongst is one, it is fun because many minds to solve a problem. Number two, many hands to come to help, and there's many more opportunities and to club the resources more usefully, and you sharing it with everybody. And so these are some things which are helping you overall thrive. And in this, mind you, the very important aspect, as I see, is there should not be any individual identity.
Exactly.
If that individual identity, I came, then it probably is not a very good elixir for that.
And it applies for the larger picture of life
I think
as well.
that's
isn't it,
why my idea of saying that,
too much of people sticking onto their identity, then comes judgments, then comes greed, jealousy, ego.
True.
And the whole beauty of that, whatever we do is lost.
Absolutely.
Even living is lost.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a very beautiful point. I wish a lot of people, think and sit and contemplate on this point of what you said, because you sitting, at the peak of your career, and you forming a team around you, and letting them express their skill sets, and supporting them to nourish or more, blossom more. It's something amazing which the medical fraternity should take it as well.
Very true. I think it is a most helpful thing. If you have to balance your life, the work-life balance is something which is often talked about all over the place today. It is just purely not about, I will work from 10 to 5 and 5 to 7 I'll play in the gym and do something, an exercise or something. Work-life balance is both physical, it's mental, it's so many things put together. And for which you need the time, you need the company, you need the space, you need the thoughts, and you need the intellect, and you need to have people around you who are able also to talk on similar wavelengths.
Right.
So you grow holistically as an overall individual. I think meditating, simple. It's such a wonderful thing to do.
Absolutely.
Everybody other sometimes look at how early you get up, and basically I trained when I came to Chennai with the MIOT, Professor Mohan Das. You all have heard of him. And that gentleman was a workhorse. And his day started at 6 o'clock. I mean, we used to put the operating room knife at 6. So to get ready after the previous night and then rush to the hospital to be there by 5:45 before the anesthesia induces, I had to get up at 4:30. So that sort of became a habit since I was doing it day in and day out for 10, 15 years together. So when you get up early now, so there's always been again, why do you want to get up early? On a Sunday also, on Sunday. It's nice feeling. Two things. I think everybody must have heard about Brahma Muhurtam. And that is the best part of the day.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, absolutely the best part. Refreshing. The disturbing noises are the birds chirping. They're giving a wake call actually. I look at it as birds giving the wake call.
True.
And then your clarity of mind and thought is good. So then over this time, I started blessing Professor Mohandas that how fortunate I am. Because we used to get in with the most difficult case at 5:45 with a clear mind, driving to work, no traffic, no stress, and you could start doing the work and then have a good environment to finish it. So I think that is again a very, very important thing in the morning. You choose the time of the day. And then, or you spend an hour meditating. These days I do some yoga and meditate. You close your eyes and think. It gives you to plan. You may use it that hour to plan, just to think about yourself, just to keep the mind free, whatever. How you do it, I don't know. I am no expert in that, but probably one way to allocate and apportion the time there, probably it's a good idea.
And how important is discipline? So discipline doesn't mean you have to live in a certain way, you have to control your vices, you have to choke yourself and be a certain way. But I'm asking in the overall context, how important or what is discipline according to you, sir, to become a happier person or to become a successful professional? What has brought you so far in life?
I don't know how it contributed or anything, but there's a sense of time, which I'm poor, and quite often I've been poor. I've been trying to keep it as much, but circumstances often force me to be there, So during all my fellowships either in Switzerland or something, at the dot of the hour, you'll be that the train would come at the tick of the hour. You know it, you know how it comes. So it's sort of, I think, sense of time, because that appreciates your understanding of how important time is to the other person.
Right.
I set you up a time at 5. I need to be here at 5. So that is being responsible for others also, not only for yourself. That was the one that is discipline. On the other side, again, is certain things which you are very clear about. You know, you want to do, how you go about in terms of your attitudes, discipline in terms of what you do, how you do. To some extent, I would say it will be like predictability in the way you respond, you react, you do for others. For others. Of course, besides this is the regular mundane thing of doing things in the way matter. I entirely agree with you. You can't be very, very rigid. I think you have to let loose.
Go with the flow.
Because if you stick around too much with the discipline part of it, you get very stressed.
You're stressed.
For example, all the present day food fads and food habits, there are a lot of good things. I'm not saying no about it. But if I now say, no, I'm going to eat only this during breakfast, this only during lunch, and this is my portion for the dinner. And yes, your body systems will be tuned. But so much of desires you are suppressing. You suddenly see some gulab jamun you want to eat, or some samosa that comes hot, you want to eat it. Now you suppress yourself and you feel, actually you're sad. You don't express it. So I think let it flow. But where you can put a stop is also important. Like for example, health reasons. Some things you should not do, and it has been advised. You can't say, I'm going to break it once in a week. No, that's not on.
That's not right. And to close it off, Dr. Suryanarayan's life lessons to people. 3 life lessons.
Oh, every day has been a lesson. Yeah. I think most important, be focused.
Be focused.
I think it is nothing wrong to be desired, to desire something or to achieve something. Number 2 is nothing falls free on your lap. There's nothing called a free lunch, and the effort needs to precede your success. No, you have to put that. So that is a given. There's not an option. So we have to do. And the third, like we have been talking through the course, is that be open. I think flexibility to change it. Being too rigid has also led to a lot of unhappiness, because life changes, things change all the time. And if you are a little more flexible and are adaptable, I think we are a far happier person.
Right. Beautifully said. I mean, I think pretty much you just summed it up very beautifully, sir. And thank you so much.
My pleasure.
And I hope people who watch this conversation, I'm sure you would have found at least one answer for any of your questions in your life. And I think the conversation sir. The whole point of doing this conversation is to make people understand the important things in life. Because the earlier you understand few things, what you understood at 63, if somebody could understand at 20 or 25 or even at 35,
absolutely,
they could still live that 25 or plus or whatever years more sensibly and more happily.
I think life is a journey, learning all the time. I think I would probably welcome responses from the people, because they may have some beautiful, phenomenal points and attitudes and approaches.
Yeah.
So I think very many things. So long as we keep our eyes open and are flexible, I think we are the happy souls.
Totally agree with that. And as you said, please post the comments in the comment section, and we will again discuss about that in the future if time permits. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Very kind of
Thanks
you.
a lot. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much.